For years, it was believed that only humans were capable of logical thinking. With what we know today, everyone's pretty much decided that's not true. In fact, animals are sometimes so clever that it's frightening. If you're ready to have your mind blown, be sure to watch until the end. Let's get it on! So humans have worked out that animals are capable of learning things. That's great. But how do we know that they really understand what they're doing? By looking at this chimp's face. It's one thing to learn how to play ping pong, but the look on his face when he gets a point says it all. He totally understands the reason he's playing this game, and he definitely wants to win. After all, this guy's no match for the greatest chimp ping pong champ of all time. Vacuum cleaners are one of those revolutionary inventions that changed everyday life forever. But that doesn't mean they aren't incredibly annoying. The noise they make can annoy everyone, even this pig. He hates this vacuum cleaner and was clever enough to work out how to put a stop to it. It's so pleased with itself too. That big smile definitely says that it feels like it's done everyone a favor, and I can't say I disagree.
Nope.
Do you have a sport you're passionate about? It's great to love a game right up until you find yourself all alone with nobody to play with. Or worse, just one player short. But you might have one more player nearby without realizing. Some dogs are clever enough to learn the rules of a sport and athletic enough to actually play them. This one is a formidable opponent on the volleyball court. It's always great to play against your bestie too. Children are clever enough to be curious, but not clever enough to know when something's dangerous. Turn your back for a second and they can get themselves into all sorts of trouble. Thank goodness this cat is clever enough to know what is and isn't dumb. Cats know all about the consequences of curiosity after all. It obviously likes that tiny human and doesn't want it to get hurt. Now, if only it would listen to its warnings. We can all learn a serious life lesson from our canine friends. They love everything. This dog has a gardener friend. It knows that it can be a serious help to his pal. He's seen Mr. Gardener slowly digging away, but the dog knows he's way better at digging. Human hands just aren't made for that task, so he steps in when he's needed and digs a hole to the best of his ability, whether the gardener wants him to or not. Did your parents ever tell you who you could be friends with? Did you listen? Or did you just escape out the window at midnight instead? Well, there might be a few of you out there that understand this kitten really well. All he wanted to do was play with his puppy friend next door, and he wasn't going to let anyone stop him. It wasn't easy to get there, but he was determined. No cage is strong or high enough to keep these unlikely friends apart. Modern cars are equipped with various gizmos and sensors, and most of those are only there to help you park. Sure, you could park without them, but they make life so much easier. You don't need to fork out a whole lot of money for a car with that capability though. Save the money and get a dog like this one. He's compatible with any car and way cuter than any rearview camera. One of the most underrated jobs on earth is getting children across a road safely. It's not easy to watch children in traffic at the same time. This stray dog makes it much easier though. He does whatever he can to make sure these children can cross this big road safely, and he isn't scared at all. Any car that moves gets barked at until all the children are safely across. Then he just carries on with his day. Obviously, we've all heard the phrase cat burglar. We're also not dumb enough to think that phrase has anything to do with an actual cat. Of course, cats can't burgle anyone, or so we thought. That phrase might have a more literal meaning very soon if this cat has any say in it. He's got the rope climbing down. Now all he needs is a magnetized collar for the jewelry to stick to, and we're all gonna be in big trouble. Everyone loves a game night, even if they claim it's boring. Sure, they can be dragging, but there's always one person that takes things a little too seriously, and that's when the fun starts. This little dog looks perfectly calm about this game of Connect 4, but just wait. Dogs clever enough to know how this game works will also definitely know when they've been beaten. Yep, he was blocked at the last minute, and he's really not happy about it. You can almost hear the words, "I demand a recount." It's safe to say that humans keep pets because we're an advanced species. What's not true is that we're the only advanced ones. These apes are super intelligent and enjoy watching over other animals too. So they got themselves a tortoise to play and share their apple with. Or at least that's what it looks like. Maybe it's their friend and not their pet. Either way, you can bet they like having him around if they're willing to share an apple with them. There's a reason we call our animals pets. They're there so that we can pet them, or so we thought. In fact, you might find that the animals keep us around to pet them. This lemur would definitely agree with that. He's only letting these kids near him so they can pet him. Unfortunately, they're not operating with the standard he expects. He knows what he wants, and he's going to get it, if only those kids would listen. Everyone loves food, but that doesn't mean we're always willing to stand up and get some. This bear agrees with that sentiment, and you can't blame him. The food is coming to him after all. If they can't throw straight, that's not his problem. He'll just keep munching at what comes to him and save the ones that don't for later. He's still polite enough to wave goodbye to his new snack friends though, even if it's because he's hoping they'll come back tomorrow. Cleaning can be one of the worst chores, but we know that it's good to keep a clean home. As it turns out, it's not only humans who know that. A zookeeper accidentally forgot his broom in this ape's enclosure. It seems this ape isn't happy with the zookeeper's cleaning ability. He has a high standard, so he took matters into his own hands at the first opportunity, even stretching to clean the window. Now that's a good roommate if I've ever seen one. Humans are constantly solving problems with clever inventions, but they're often designed for a specific purpose. This can cloud our vision sometimes, so we can't imagine everything they might be good for. Thankfully, this dog is on hand to show us that there may be other uses for things, even something as specific as a car wash. I'll never be able to see a car wash as anything other than a dog petting machine for the rest of my life from now on. Humans mastered the art of using tools thousands of years ago, and we never let animals forget it. But we're wrong to think that we're the only ones that can put them to good use. This orangutan worked out how to use this saw surprisingly quickly. She didn't even need anyone to show her how to do it, and as quickly as she learned how, her friends started copying. It won't be long before they can build their own house. Some people have a knack for having fun. There's no person on earth that knows how to have a good time better than a dog. And if they see you having fun, they're definitely going to join in, even if that means learning how to use a sled. You have to wonder how many times it went down the hill before it got bored, because it looks like it's having the time of its life. Everyone's aware of the importance of caring for the environment, but not everyone actually does their part. It's not uncommon to see litter lying everywhere. Well, anyone who litters should know that this crow thinks you're dumb, and he's not wrong. He's so annoyed he's started taking matters into his own hands, and he recycles any litter he finds. They say the best way to teach is by example. Let's hope that's true across species as well. There are all sorts of incredible buildings in this world, all designed for human use. When designing them, we never consider how an animal might put them to use. These monkeys saw an opportunity to use this building as though it was designed for them. All they needed was their amazing climbing ability and the brains to work out how to use the building to their advantage. Now it's just a matter of time before they're opening doors and letting themselves in. We all need to keep hydrated. It's necessary for survival. But this cat doesn't have time to wait around for humans to get it some water. It's got things to do. It's a busy working cat after all, so it just started using the water cooler. Now it can work in its own time and have water whenever it wants without asking anyone for anything. Humans are highly intelligent and capable of creating amazing inventions. Sure, maybe we're the only ones that can build machines, but animals are super clever too. They know a good thing when they see it. This cat decided that this invention was being used wrong. It's a chin scratching device, not a leg massager. No problem though, because when cats decide something, that's the way it will be. You can use it, human, but the cat will take it from you when it needs it.